What up, what up, what up? It is November 12th, 2021, and we are going to continue to go along with this process. I probably should get a different dash mounted cam so you guys are not looking up at me, but for now, this is what we'll do. I was honored to go back and do some public speaking at my alma mater, University of Colorado, Colorado Springs yesterday. And one of the things that I normally get asked as a question is, what made you start the Men's Exchange as a business? And that answer is several-fold. There's one, that it was a need in my community. It is a necessity that we allow men, or we provide men, the opportunity to dress better, and to do so while removing the barrier of cost of clothing, right? So we wanted to make sure that we remove the barrier of clothing from advancement in people's lives. The structure of it and all those things really came as an amalgam of ideas from several people of who I have an absurd amount of respect for. But all those things came together in one brilliant confluence of ideas, and I was able to kind of get all that together in one space. But the other thing is that, keeping in mind that I actually started the business in 2016. I'd gotten to the place in my community, in my hometown in Colorado Springs, where I had held leadership positions. I had been a small business owner. I had been successful in just about everything I'd ever done, right, as far as a business is concerned. And I had a passion, and still do, for helping individuals. And in the executive director world, which is the CEO of nonprofit organizations, I kept applying for gigs, and I kept getting passed over. And I was not being provided the same opportunities as the majority of my white counterparts who had done less. They had done an absurd amount less than I had in this community. And one of the final straws is that I had been a teacher, had been a certified coach, sports coach, had done a lot of work in the nonprofit universe, had graduated from college and from the right leadership programs, and still found myself passed over for a position that I was absurdly qualified for, and watched someone else who was less qualified than me get this job. And to that point, I wasn't even provided an opportunity to interview for the job. And I wasn't provided the opportunity to interview because it was an all-white board who did not value my blackness, frankly, and was quite concerned that I was not going to be able to be controlled. So they opted to hire a white woman that they felt that they could control. This got explained to me a little bit later on. The control factor, not being able to control anything. But nonetheless, for me, I hit a breaking point, and I got to the space where, if you're not going to let me have a seat at the table, I'll make one. I'll build my own chair. I will build my own space, and I will wedge myself into this table. And that's what happened. So many black-owned businesses over the last 200 years happened because African Americans were not provided the opportunities that they had earned to be able to have a seat at the table. And when it happened for me in that same space, even in 2016, I finally decided enough's enough, and I am going to not let this stop me. I will remain undaunted. I will continue to move forward. I am destined to do more, and you cannot stop me from doing more. And in that, I was called into the destiny of the career and the job that I currently have. So the whole point of that is to realize that when we talk about racism and mindsets of racism and institutionalized racism and institutionalized ways of thinking, that didn't end at the Civil War, nor did it end with the ending of Jim Crow laws, nor has it ended with Barack Obama becoming president. We have continued to see this thought process continue to proliferate through our communities. So that's it. I just wanted to share with you guys the thoughts of how I started and why I started. And there's way more to that story, but that's a strong point of understanding that not being given the opportunities that I'd applied for, that I'd earned, and watching them being passed to other individuals, kind of got to the space where it was like, look, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to do this on my own. All right. Love you guys.